All right, here we go, man. So, hey, good evening, good afternoon. I'm normally doing this in the evening, but we got a special broadcast for you here today. So we want to make sure that we give it enough time to let you guys know that we are here. I'm your host, ERGJ, the Black Virtual Marketplace. Special broadcast for us this afternoon with Talley Twine watch company, guys. So it was very interesting this weekend. I went to a man's conference. They were talking about style and suits and all that good stuff. And then they got to the watches, and we didn't have a lot to say about that. So lo and behold, get in touch with a brother who started a watch company, and hopefully he'll be able to educate us on these watches that the Black-owned company as well. So if you could, while you guys are connecting, man, go ahead and hit that share button, that like and share button. We're going to be featuring the Black-owned business today, Talley Twine Company, here on the Black Virtual Marketplace, where we help Black-owned businesses go from local to global, just giving them some exposure using this thing called the World Wide Web. While you guys are connecting, man, go and let us know where you're connecting from, what city, what state, what country, quite possibly. We understand that we're on the World Wide Web, which means that you could be watching us from anywhere. So we don't take that for granted. Let us know what city, what state, what city, what state. And while you're doing that, guys, I'm going to do my due diligence as well and go ahead and hit the share button as well here on the Black Virtual Marketplace. So give me just a second, guys. In a couple places. So we are broadcasting live here on YouTube and also Facebook. And so we, just do your part, right? Hit the share button. That's free to do. Let people know that we're here. And then we get an opportunity to help a Black-owned business go viral today. That's right. We get an opportunity to do that here on the Black Virtual Marketplace. So I got two more places to post, and then we'll get this show on the road, man, because I want to learn about some watches. I mean, I've heard a lot about all these other companies that make watches and all that, but you know what I'm saying? Why would I go spend my money with them when I can spend my money with my own? But I need to learn about, I ain't got no watch on, by the way. So something must be wrong with me as this distinguished gentleman that I am. Something must be wrong with me as well. So we'll learn about watches here today. A couple more places, we'll get this show on the road, man. Good. Everybody type anything yet? Nope, still no comments. All right, fantastic, man. So we're going to go a couple more places, get this show on the road, man. The Black Virtual Marketplace, very special broadcast here today with our brother from Talley Twine, the watch company, and he'll get us educated on what's going on in the watch game. All right, the watch game, absolutely, man. All right, man. Hey, we're going to get this thing popping. You guys know what time it is, man. It's time for Mr. DJ to hit us with the music. I think he's going to hit me with the music. Okay, yeah, he's going to hit us with the music.
Business Home Shopping Network presents the Black Virtual Marketplace. This is the dedication, a lyrical ovation for the Black Virtual Marketplace, Black business innovation. That's right, Black owned, Black buyers, put in the work for our own empire. Take it to the world, every product you see, we taking it global. Black business believe. I don't think they're ready, Evan Jefferson. Black Business Home Shopping Network, baby. What it is. We take your local business global like a boss. At the Black Virtual Marketplace, Black business got the sauce, yo. Black Business Home Shopping Network, baby.
Yeah, I can do that. All right, yeah, I can do that. Hey, what's going on, my beautiful people, man? Thanks so much for joining us here on the Black Virtual Marketplace. I'm your host, ERGJ, your certified financial educator, CEO of ERGJ Enterprises, ERGJ Black Bazaar, and international best-selling author of the book, The Black Billionaires Club, which is a study of Black wealth. It's a study of the 12 richest Black people in the world today and how they built their wealth. And I just believe that if you want to be wealthy, guys, if you do, I recommend that you study wealthy people. Well, you can find that book by simply going to the website, www.theblackbillionairesclub.com, www.theblackbillionairesclub.com, and also check out our other store, which is ERGJ Black Bazaar, which is the focus on Afrocentric home decor, personal care products, and also Black art-inspired gifts. You can check out that website at www.ergjblackbazaar.com, www.ergjblackbazaar.com, and that's going to be our sponsor for today with this special broadcast with Talley Twine, the watch company, guys. So if you guys have want to learn anything about watches, man, here is the great time to do it, as we're going to have our brothers teach us a little bit about this thing that we have with the watches. And I'm just trying to get him a shareable link real quick so he can share this thing to his network as well. And I'll bring him on in just a second. So I'm just sharing with you, Brother Randy, Facebook and then also YouTube. I think YouTube would probably be easier for people to connect with. We're live on YouTube as well. And so, guys, How many guys have wanted to know something about watches? How many guys knew that there was a black-owned watch company? And now we're just starting to come out the woodworks with making sure we provide usable products for our people to be able to buy from ourselves, and we can practice group economics. And so I had the pleasure of reaching out to this brother. He said he'll come on and share some time with us here today. So I don't want to take up too much of his time because I know that he's busy doing what he does as I'm busy doing what I do. So let me introduce to you guys Brother Randy from the Talley Twine company. And then we'll also be taking a look at his website as well. Let me bring him on in, man. Mr. Randy, how you doing?
All right, man. Thank you for having me. I'm doing good.
Oh man, fantastic, man. Thanks so much for I see the piece already. I see the piece already. Hey, thanks so much for taking some time to be with us here on the Black Virtual Marketplace, man. I see I've been watching what you guys have been doing. Matter of fact, I got quite a few brothers who've been kind of staying in the loop with the company as well. And so I'm glad that you're able to be here with us today, man. If you could just there's people who don't know who you are. If you could just tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, and why you do what you do.
Yeah, just a Southern boy, man, from Georgia. Founder of Talley Twine. We're going into our 5th year in November, and we're a direct-to-consumer watch and accessories company that specializes in offering detailed timepieces. We are the foremost cultural-focused watch company in the industry, I believe.
Fantastic. So when you said quite a few words there. So you said detail-oriented timepieces. I'm not a watch guy, so you're gonna have to help me out with what you mean by that. Because I was gonna say luxury, but maybe that's not what it is. So can you share with us a little bit about the watch lingo and help us understand what some people need to know about?
Yeah, as you get deeper into the watch industry and become a collector and a fan of watches, you'll notice there are some things that start to separate certain brands from the others. And one of those biggest things is the details of those watches. So how much attention to detail are they putting into the little pieces that not everyone would notice? But if you're a watch guy, you would definitely notice those and look for those things. So little details inside of the face, the inscription on the back and side, what type of leather do you use? What type of materials do you use? What type of movement do you use inside of the watches? All of those things are super important for people who like to collect them and like to be a little different. But also from a style perspective, it adds a lot of value as well. So you don't have to be a watch connoisseur to just buy something that you like, just buy a nice quality product. And so that was one of the reasons that I founded Talley Twine, was I wanted to put those details that are found in really, really high-end watches into something that's definitely more attainable for the average person.
Fantastic. So can you tell us a little bit about the backing behind the name Talley Twine? Where did that come from? Is that some towns like New Black Wall Street, Green Archer, and Pine, or where did the name come from?
Yeah, Talley Twine is actually an intersection in Portsmouth, Virginia. Used to be a really, really bad neighborhood, a housing project, actually. And it was known for violence and drugs. And when I moved to Virginia, I used to hear about this place so much. I met people who grew up there and they would talk about it, like how bad it was. But that area currently is filled with homeowners. So the people who lived in that neighborhood through a local program or a state program were able to become homeowners. And it looks totally different. They're all single family homes. It's a thriving neighborhood now. And it's really near the heart of the city as well. So I thought that would be a great thing to start the company on. The fact that you don't have to finish the way that you start. You know, a lot of us had hard upbringings and didn't have the ideal environment coming up, but we don't have to finish like that. You know, we didn't start off as entrepreneurs, or you might be a first generation entrepreneur and you might be leading the pack. So you don't have to finish the way that you started.
Oh man, I hit it right on the head when I said New Black Wall Street. Okay, I'm getting good at this stuff. Fantastic, man. So you said that you said high end, but then you said that's more affordable. So,
right.
So I don't know if there's some type of comparison between, I guess first, do you make watches for women or are they just men's watches?
No, we both men and women's.
Okay. And when I don't know if you were able to say, I don't know, I guess there's all these different types of watches from Swiss and to Rolex and all this stuff. Where on this gamut would you say is your real competition in the area in which you focus?
Competition, I guess. You would probably have to go by the price range. So competition in our price range is probably like within, the $200 price range, around about there is where we're priced at. So any watches that would be in that range, Movado, Invicta, Boulevard, those some of the names that people know, Kenneth Cole, that type of thing.
Okay, fantastic. And your Talley Twine watch, is it just something right now that's just sold through your website, or are you have distributors other places? Are you looking for distributors? What's the kind of projection for where Talley Twine, the watch company, is going?
No, we're only sold online. We don't have any distributors. Even though we've been approached by a lot, we want to continue to be direct to consumer for a few reasons. Number one, we want to be able to touch our customers and interact with them, so that we learn what they want, and then we're able to deliver that directly to them without anybody getting in the way of that. One of our biggest strategic advantages is our adaptability. And when you're able to hear from a customer firsthand, as soon as they have an issue, and make those changes immediately, then you can adapt a lot more. But also, we don't have the overhead of going through 100 or 1,000 retail stores to sell our product, hoping that it sells through, and if not, having to buy that product back. And so I think with 2019, the way that the retail apocalypse is going, it's a stronger bet to place on you becoming your own distributor and distributing your product directly to your consumer. Is a lot safer. And I think it long term is going to add more value to the company as well. You see, malls are closing, stores within the malls, they're like, ghost towns now if you've been to a mall lately. The reason for that is more online shopping. So we want to be at the front of that curve.
Absolutely, man. Now, you also said that Georgia. So I'm in actually Atlanta, Georgia, Decatur, Georgia, man. What part of Georgia are you? I guess you're currently in right now. Did you move back to Georgia, move to Georgia, or?
No. I live in Virginia. I'm from Georgia. I grew up in Albany, Georgia.
Okay.
Familiar with that?
Yeah, I'm familiar with that. That's about an hour and a half south-ish of Atlanta. Okay, fantastic. So
yeah, and with Albany State University as well. So
okay. Now, now we have quite a few people that, as part of my org, that are probably joining now, and we have a lot of entrepreneurs that are probably kind of part of my network. What would you can you tell us a little bit about how you got started and what really? I know you told us why you started, but how was this journey into you're really deciding, whatever you were at, maybe you were in corporate America, maybe you still are, I'm not quite sure. And you said, man, we about to launch this company and, started 5 years ago and you're still here today.
Yeah. I think the biggest key takeaway from how I got started is I recognized that there's an opportunity in the market and I could bring value with a product. And that opportunity was that the watches in the $200 price range were trash. They were cheap and they lacked style. All of the watches in that price range were trying to copy the higher end watches. They were trying to make their own version of a Rolex or their own version of another designer. And people were satisfied with that. But I saw an opportunity to create an original design within that price range. And ultimately, I just couldn't find something that I like. So that's another lesson as well that I would say take away from it is you've got to look at opportunities. When you experience a problem and frustration, other people might be experiencing that same problem and frustration as well. So the way that I got started is I just had an idea to start my own company and I started sketching out designs for that. And eventually I was able to find a manufacturer to bring it to life. I created a sketch and then I turned that into a graphic design, turned that graphic design into a 3D model. And from there, having that 3D model, I was able to get a few manufacturers to manufacture samples for me. And we went back and forth until those samples were made. And once I got the sample to where I was satisfied with it, I decided to do a crowdfunding campaign where we pre-ordered or we pre-sold the watches. And we raised about $25,000 that way on Kickstarter. And that's how we got our first shipment. And we've been moving ever since.
Now that's, oh my goodness. So that's very interesting to me. So you use the Kickstarter campaign as a method to actually pre-sell the watches versus just, and I really like what I just heard right there because I hear, when I hear Kickstarter, I'm thinking, okay, just give us money and we'll, get started. But it was an exchange like, hey, when you make this
right.
donation, or you make this basically an investment into this platform called Kickstarter, then you're actually going to get something, and then that something of value is actually the watch or a watch. Now, when you did this Kickstarter campaign, was it the one watch, or were there multiple watches? Or I know there are levels, but how did you set up your levels that made sense to the consumer?
Yeah, we had a couple of different packages. We had, of course, a solo watch, and we had packages with 2 or 3 watches in them as well.
Absolutely. Oh man, that is absolutely fun. So with the Kickstarter campaign, which is crowdfunding, and now that we got equity crowdfunding, I don't know if it was going on back then, but the exchange was, you pick a package, and then with your contribution through this campaign, you're actually going to get a watch that's of that value, if not more of value. I don't know if you did them on sale for the Kickstarter campaign or not.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the advantage of doing pre-orders is you get it below retail price, or what it's going to sell for on the website. So they were able to get a deal by just taking a chance on a newer company, but 100% money in exchange for an actual product that you get. And that's the difference between crowdfunding and something like GoFundMe. GoFundMe is just asking for donations. Typically with crowdfunding, and specifically sites like Kickstarter, you're raising money to deliver a specific product. There's more risk to the consumer than they would be if they were buying online directly, because the product hasn't been made yet in most cases. But definitely.
Oh man, we're starting to get a little.
But
yeah, just right now we started to lose voice again. So earlier, guys, we were testing this out. We got through the voice problem. It looks like it's coming back a little bit. So let me check with the audience. Okay, he's reconnecting. Okay, there we go. Randy, you still there?
Can you hear me? Yeah, I'm here. Can you see
Yeah,
me?
I can hear you. It looked like your internet reset.
Yeah, something went out. I couldn't see you either.
Okay, am I back now? Can you see me now?
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. So you were talking a little bit about the Kickstarter versus GoFundMe. That's where we lost you at. Looks like we're gonna lose you again. Oh, good old internet, man. Hey,
I'm showing that my signal is good, man. I don't know.
It's all good, man. Whenever I tell people all the time, whenever you try to do something and it's new and groundbreaking, you're gonna have some hiccups. I'm used to it. It just always happens, and we just gotta be prepared for it. So I think we're good to go now. Yeah, you're moving fine, heads bobbing and everything as well. Looks like we're back. Yeah, there we go. Good. So Randy, again, so before you got the idea, before you decided, figured out your strategy with Kickstarter and all that stuff, man, were you always a watch guy?
Yeah, I was actually, I started collecting watches on my senior cruise. We went on a cruise for in the 12th grade for graduation, and we went to this little shop, and I bought this watch. In retrospect, it probably was fake, but I thought it was a guess watch. And I just wore that thing everywhere, man. And I got used to wearing a watch. And when I got to college and started working, I would purchase a watch, ever so often whenever I could afford it, if I found one on sale. And then when I got married, my wife would get me a watch for every major occasion, so birthday, anniversary, etc. And she was having a harder time finding stuff that I actually liked. And that was another one of the catalysts for me starting the company as well, is I couldn't find anything that I actually wanted to wear. And that's what led me to start thinking about, hey, maybe I can design my own.
Man, I really love your story, man, because I'm a financial coach, business coach, all this stuff, and so many people. I think everybody gets $1 million ideas in their lifetime. I think people get multiple million ideas in just a year, but very few of us actually act on them. Um, have you always, well, let me ask you this. Have you kind of always been the guy to say, man, let me try this out? Like what other ideas you've had in the past? Like, was this spirit of entrepreneurism, did your parents have it? Or was this, you just, man, that was that one idea you said, man, this is too good for me not to work on. I mean, how's your makeup your childhood, your growing up? How does this kind of play into, being really taking the risk? You know what I'm saying? Like many of us have them, but very few of us are willing to take the risk or bet on ourselves or bet on this idea and put in the work to make it happen.
Right. Yeah. No, I didn't grow up with any special privilege that forced me to be an entrepreneur, encouraged me to be an entrepreneur. I just somehow got it in my head when I was very young that was a way out. I was watching TV, and all the people that were successful were businessmen. And in my head, since
oh Lord. Oh Lord, come on now. That's a good old enemy, man. Always messing with stuff, man. See if we can be able to get Randy back, man. How you guys enjoying so far? He's gonna probably reconnect in just a second. How you guys enjoying the interview so far, man? Hopefully you're learning something, you get something from it. In just a few seconds, we're gonna take a look at the website for Talley Twine, so you can kind of take a look at some of these timepieces. What they say. I can bring Randy back in, man. See, okay, he's good. Okay, we got him back. We're gonna make it through it. We're gonna make it through this thing. I'm just trying to tell you.
Oh, where was I? But what I was saying was I viewed entrepreneurship as a way out. I saw people on TV who were successful, they own businesses. And I just got that in my head that I had to be a business owner if I wanted to have the stuff I couldn't get. I couldn't afford any of the trends that were going on at the time, none of the fancy tennis shoes or, the hot clothes that were in. I couldn't afford that stuff, and that was frustrating. And so I started my journey when I was very young and trying to come up with ideas to make extra money and sell things on the side. And so I've always been, I guess you would call that risk averse, but I think it's actually more risky to go to work for somebody for 40 years and live paycheck to paycheck and never try to get out of poverty, never try to get out of that, check to check cycle. Because otherwise, how the end is going to be if you don't do anything about it. To me, it's more risky to not take a risk, so to speak.
Yeah. One of my mentors says it's all risky. You just got to choose your risk. so like you said, I like that. Like, what the end is going to be if you don't, take a chance somewhere down the road in your journey. Take a chance on you, take a chance on your ideas, or connect with someone that's taking a chance on ideas. I say that as well. I tell that to people also. Well, Mr. Randy, man, we want to take a look at your website now to show the people some of these wonderful timepieces that you guys have designed and that are available to public. So we're here at your website. And again, that website, guys, is tallyandtwine.com, tallyandtwine.com. Email address if you have any questions for the team is the team at tallyandtwine.com. And they got an 800 number for you to call if you need some customer service. You got any issues or concerns, 1-800-887-5686. Of course, this is the Black Virtual Marketplace where we're helping Black-owned businesses go from local to global using the worldwide internet to bring exposure to what we have created and what we do. And so hopefully you guys are helping with this process to help a Black-owned business go viral by hitting the like button, the share button, the follow button, any kind of button you can hit. Make sure you do that for here today. So Randy, man, if you could just tell me where to go and just kind of walk us through the website so people get familiar with coming here and then they can choose to do some business with you.
Sure. So you just want to X off that box there. That's for people who want to sign up for our email list where we give out a lot of deals, tell you about new products and things of that nature. So on the home page, you can just see that we've been featured in a lot of respected publications. Essence, Ebony, we've done some partnerships with Essence, Huffington Post, Black Enterprise, and just it's good to be just acknowledged for what you do. So if you scroll down, you'll see the first part of the page is pre-order deals. These are the watches that are currently sold out. We'll be shipping these out in a couple of weeks. but people can actually pre-order these. These are our hottest designs, so it's hard to keep these in stock.
Oh, you got oh my goodness.
Yeah, we released that last year, man, and it's just been hard to keep it in stock ever since.
Now is that
So that's
a cloth band? It looks like it's some type of
canvas band.
Okay.
Very comfortable canvas.
On this lingo now. I don't know what it's called everything.
Yeah. Our biggest sellers are the metal band watches. You can see the black and the gold are our biggest sellers. So if you keep scrolling down past that section, you'll see from Instagram that shows this is our most popular collection, the metal collection. So now gold watch is our best seller. But you asked earlier if we have women's watches as well. So if you scroll the women's collection, and you can click there to shop all watches, but I don't want you to click there. Just scroll down. You see the women's metal collection.
You got a rose gold.
That's also a huge seller for women's. Is the rose gold.
So Randy, is the different the men and women just the size of the face bigger and the width of the band?
Correct. So the women's sizes are 41 millimeters, and the men's is 46, so slightly larger.
Okay.
But we have a lot of matching sets, so we're gonna do a lot of gift set deals during the holiday season as well, because I know a lot of people buy them for gifts. Another one of my favorite collections is the leather collection. We have both men's and women's, but a lot of different colorways for the leather collection as well.
Brown leather, that chocolate.
And if you click at the bottom right there where it says shop the full collection, what you're seeing on the front page is just a sample of the full collections of these items that we have. So you can see the rest of them if you click in and just scroll down.
Oh, you got 2 pages of them too. Okay.
And then at the bottom of the page, you see our story. Just tells the background of how Talley Twine got started, and what was the kind of some of the stuff that we went over. Just help people understand, where we're coming from and where we're going as a company. But one of the
now, what about this
pages that I'm
2-year warranty? Okay.
Yeah, you can. Yes, you're back. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, 2-year warranty. If you have any problems, just email us and we'll replace it for you. So luckily, we don't have a lot of problems.
Okay.
One of the pages I'm most proud about is the community page near the right at the top. These are mostly local organizations and small nonprofits that we've been able to help out. And is because organizations like American Cancer Society and Red Cross, they spend 80 to 90% of it on paying their staff and administrative stuff. So these are organizations that we've been able to see here personally and touch, see that they're doing good work, and just decided to help them out. So that's one of the big reasons that we started Talley Twine. Again, our slogan is mantras is you don't have to finish the way that you started, but our slogan is it's time to make your mark. And that being said, we want to help people in our community as well. That's as important to us as getting our name out there for watches.
Wow. When did you guys do your first like what was the first give back to the community of all of these?
Was an organization that my college friend started, Ladies of Favor, and she it had been mentoring young girls for a while, and she was raising money. And that's probably one of the first organizations we started helping out.
Okay. Wow, man. So you guys are a company that gives back to the community as well. That's pretty dope. I hardly ever see a community page on a lot of websites. So it's good to see that you guys found it, see the importance of letting people know that, there are, nonprofits that you guys make contributions to, or that you help out in any way, that you're partnered with in some kind of way as well. So that's absolutely phenomenal. Now
that's one of the things that.
Oh. No, go ahead. I'm listening.
Yeah. No, I was going to say that's one of the things I think that's so important for Black businesses, and I'm glad that you're doing something like this to highlight Black businesses, because this is something that we do inherently, man. We give back when we have companies that are part of the community. They really are. They do book bag drives, or free haircut days. That's just something common to us as a community, and it really hurts my heart when I see that we so wholeheartedly support other organizations that don't even try to give back to our specific community. We give them billions of dollars every year, but they don't care about our neighborhoods. They don't care about where you actually live or your people. And so that's one of the things that I want people to seek out. Look for these companies that are doing something in your community. Are any of those dollars, any percentage of those dollars coming back to help your people? And if not, demand that from those companies, or just switch to a different product or service.
I couldn't have said it better, brother. So I didn't realize you got some wallets in here as well. Okay, and what's this leather valet tray? All right, for people to do some serving on, I guess.
Yeah. No, that's for like a place to put your keys and your wallet when you sit it down on your dresser or your nightstand.
Oh, okay.
It's foldable as well. So if you travel with it in your hotel room, if you're a person who puts your stuff down and forgets it, just toss your wallet and your keys and stuff in there, and you'll know where to find it.
Okay.
But yeah, we have wallets, accessories as well, toiletry bags, and a few colors of different duffel bags as well.
Okay, fantastic. And merch, I guess, would probably some t-shirts or something. Let's see what you got here.
Yeah, that's a new tab that we just added, and just got a couple of t-shirts with our slogan and stuff on it.
Now, the logo. Talk to us about the logo. It looks like it's a shield and a torch.
Yeah, nobody ever asked me about the logo, actually. The torch is a symbol of passion, meaning that when you do things, you should do it with a passion behind it, with a fire, something that's burning, something that's leading you to do it more than just money or material possessions. Hopefully there's a reason behind what you do, just like there's a meaning behind the name Talley Twine and what we stand for. And then a lot of people don't know it, but the base of the torch is actually the number 7. And the number 7 is featured prominently on our watches. That's the only number that we use. So we kind of hid the 7 in the base of the torch as well.
So why is 7 prominently featured in your watches?
Yeah, 7 is the number that represents completion to us. So there's 7 days in a week. And I said to myself once I started Talley Twine that this was going to be something I saw through to the end. When you're
I would not even notice if you didn't say it. Look at this. Oh, okay. Okay, I'm sorry for cutting you off, brother. Go ahead. I'm getting excited now. Go ahead.
Yeah, but just wanted to have something distinct on the face, but also something that's meaningful. But it represents completion. Finish, some reminder to finish what you start. As entrepreneurs, a lot of times when we'll start stuff, but we don't finish it, and then we get known as the person who just always has a harebrained scheme that they're working on, and then people don't take you seriously. And so this is a reminder of that. See stuff through to the end. I think that's one of the things that's stopping a lot of people from being successful in businesses. They don't endure. You got to keep going. If you see light at the end of the tunnel, don't be discouraged when it gets hard, because that's just a part of the game.
Everybody put a console.
In life.
Everybody put a console. Finish with now, Randy. If you could enlighten me just a little bit, or on this watch that we have on the screen here, obviously I'm familiar with the big face, but what are the two little faces? What do they represent? Seconds and what? Or hold up a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what is it? Is it a date? I don't know, man. Help me out.
Now, that's a good question. That's a good question. So this is the style of watch that features 3 prongs is called a chronograph. A chronograph is a fancy word for a stopwatch. So if you hit that top button, it starts the stopwatch function. Now see that longest hand that's covering up the 7 there?
Yeah.
We need to have a better picture because that doesn't need to be covered up. It's not showing the watch. But the longest hand, that's the second hand. So if you were to hit that top button, the second hand would start moving around and tracking the second. Now these 2 smaller dials represent different things. The dial at the bottom is the second hand, and the dial at the top moves every 2 seconds. It's something that was built into the original design of the chronograph. So it's basically one big stopwatch, and the second hand is actually the small dial at the bottom. That's what they're called. You call them small faces, but they're just small dials.
Wait a second. Okay. All right. So this is not no regular looking. So you saying that bottom circle is the second hand?
Yeah, that's gonna be ticking. That's always ticking. Correct.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Hey, you gonna learn today. You gonna learn today.
A little bit more flavor, man. You know.
Huh?
I said just trying to add a little bit more flavor and not do something so typical all the time.
Well, no, hey man, hey, I knew we was gonna learn about some watches today. I'm learning. All right, so what other kind of now this is a chronograph, you said, right? Version of
correct,
a
correct.
Okay, what other type of watch you gonna teach us about?
No, this is the style that we have. That's the style of a Talley Twine watch.
Oh, you do all of them like that?
Yep.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, let me go. So even the women's same thing?
Even the women's, yes.
All right, let me look at this one. I think this is a woman's watch, right?
No, that's men's. We have it in both men's and women's.
I want to go look at a woman's watch. Hold on a second.
Yeah, click on the tab that says women's at the top.
So your style. All right, so then I guess the next question will be, have you guys considered a different style coming out soon or at some point, or that's really no need to do that? You're just gonna stick with your style for Talley Twine, or maybe I'd add, how many different types of watches are there? How many different types of watch styles are there?
Modeling a very long time and is successful for a very long time. They stick with a style and become known for that style before they start. And so with us being a newer company, we're going to stick with this design and make sure that we to a large number of people for a specific style and become known for that first. So we don't plan on changing our face anytime soon.
Okay, that makes sense. So I guess I'll ask him, I guess of all the different styles of I guess watches, why did you not why, but what made, I guess it is why did you decide on this style? Is this the one that, you know, as you were getting watches and stuff like that, you just really love this style, or this is the one that was least prominent or most popular, or you know, kind of what helped you guys make this decision? Like, you know, this is the style we're going with for our brand.
Yeah, there were really no smaller companies doing chronograph style. So that was one reason, because we wanted to stand out. And then number two, it was just so eye-catching to me as a buyer. And whenever somebody wore a chronograph, it just stood out so much. You just see those 3 prongs on there, and it automatically makes you just do a double take, because you want to know what type of, you want to know what type of watch it is. So even if they're talking, and just that part is covered up with their suit, you see those 3 prongs, it gets your attention. So that was my thinking behind it, is that the chronograph style would garner more attention and make people ask more questions about it.
Man, this is phenomenal. So let me ask you this, Randy. When it comes to, you know, again, I always kind of try to talk to that entrepreneur who I consider to be someone who has the idea, but you know, really is kind of I don't know. How much research have you, kind of did you, if you could quantify the research that you put into learning your industry, learning watches, studying, other companies that make timepieces, like how much of this did you consume, would you say, to you, you felt like, man, I understand watches, or I know watches, or you're a watch master or something. Is there,
Yeah, well, I think
a specific word for a watch master? Maybe there's a lingo I don't know either. There's a word I don't know.
yeah, it's called a horologist. Horologist.
Okay.
But I'm not a horologist, man, and that's the thing about it. I think I'm a person who knows what they like, and I have when I like something, I buy it. I'm the type of person that likes something, I'll buy it in every color. So if I like shoes, they fit me right, they look good, and I like the style, I'm gonna get every color. If I Same thing with pants and a shirt. If I find a company that makes shirts, sweaters that fit me right, I get them. And so that being said, I study I study more brands and companies on their growth than I do watches. Now I knew a lot about watches just from being a consumer and just being in the industry as a customer. So that research didn't have to be too extensive for me to figure that out. And thankfully we got the internet to teach us a lot of stuff. But the biggest thing you need to study in the industry is other companies that have been successful and why are they successful? Well, I know Rolex is a popular name, but why? Why is it that they've endured so long? What have they done? Even things like you mentioned earlier, you asked me, like, are we going to make different faces? Rolex hasn't changed their face in 100 years. It's a household name for a reason, and some brands that came on the scene after them changed their face and watered down their content. So those are the types of things that I study.
Wow. So you're studying business, you're studying longevity, you're studying legacy. Wow, I wasn't expecting that answer. You're a polished brother, man. You're a fine gentleman. That's what I'm talking about, man. Hey guys, again, this is the Black Virtual Marketplace, guys, where we're helping a Black-owned business go from local to global using the internet. Just giving some exposure where we can. Hopefully, you hit that like button and share button. Hopefully, you're learning something about watches. We do have a Black-owned watch company represented here today with Brother Randy with Talley Twine Watch Company. If you guys missed some of the earlier stuff he's talking about, where the name came from, how he got started, and all that stuff, make sure that you hit the replay. This is available on YouTube and also on Facebook. Just took a look at the website as well. And again, guys, and that's going to be italiantwine.com. Again, email address if you need to get in touch with the team is the team at italiantwine.com. Phone number if you need to contact them, got any customer service questions or issues or that you have, 1-800-887-5686. And I want to make sure that I open it up to you guys that are watching here live today. If you got any questions for Brother Randy, and I'm sure he'll do his best to answer it if it's about the watch company or if it's about business, entrepreneurship, his journey, anything like that. Feel free to pop that question down below. We'll pop that up for him, give him an opportunity to respond to you as he's taking time out of his busy day to be with us here today. I told him, man, can we do something at 6, 7 o'clock? I said, man, I'll be gone by then. He got to get back to the family. So he said he did agree to come with us here at 1 o'clock. So we do want to. We got about 15 minutes left with him before we've got a jet. So we'll wait on you guys to type. I know I talk fast and you type, guys. We do want to give you an opportunity to ask your questions, things like that. Just share with you guys. I don't know if you've seen all the comments or not, Brother Randy, but Big Sis says she loves it. She's mentioned you got a beautiful website. Felicia Gardner says your logo is so cool, the meaning so deep and inspiring. She said that she's loving your design and functionality of your watches as well. Let me ask this: how far has your watch gone? So you're from Georgia, in Virginia, company 5 years old. I imagine that there's a place that your watch is going that you never thought that your brand would be. How far would you say your watch is going? What other countries is your watch being touted, sported, worn, orders that came in, something like that?
I think we're in 12 or 13 different countries we've shipped to. But we are international, man. A big impetus for that, and we don't do any advertising internationally. So I'm always shocked when we get an international order from somebody who has found us online. And then the other part of the international crowd is a lot of people who are in the military, who are on a military base, place orders as well. So that's been something that's been really shocking for me as well.
Let me ask you this, man, because this could really help. I tell people that you know, the biggest piece to your business, I believe, is in marketing. Like, you can make the best watch in the world, but if no one knows you exist, then you just got the best. You got the best unheard of, unseen secret, right? So when it comes to, I guess, I don't necessarily know if you need to give all the tools of the trade, but just some tips on marketing. You have an online company, you have a watch company. You just said you don't advertise outside of the United States. You I guess that people can only get the watch from your website. So
Right.
how did tell us a little bit about how you made what you did to make Talley and Twine a name, so much so that Essence is talking to you, that Ebony is talking to you. I mean, I'm pretty sure you might be amazed. I mean, I know I'm amazed sometimes at my success. Like, man, I'm just a young boy from Decatur, Georgia, and now I'm international. So, but can you talk to us a little bit about what it took, or what you did, or how did you get to a point where it goes from idea to now international? And people coming to you, coming to your site, coming to your home to do business
Hmm.
with your company.
Yeah. Honestly, like a lot of that stuff, I couldn't have planned for it. To just get a call from Essence saying that they want us to participate in their 50 Black women in Hollywood, celebrating Black women in Hollywood, and they want us to provide timepieces for those people. Stuff like that is just a huge opportunity. But people always ask, "How did you get it?" I'm like, I don't know. They just contacted me. Uh, I just do the best I can to put out consistent content, to deliver a good product, and to take care of the existing customers that I have. Treat them like gold, so they go and spread the word about Talley and Twine. So when you open a Talley and Twine box, I don't want you to feel like you paid too much for it or you got cheated. I want you to feel the opposite reaction. And that has been our goal from the beginning. When you open it, I want you to feel like you cheated me out of money. When you open it, I wanted to feel like it's worth twice as much as what you paid. And that's what we call a real transaction between two people, treating people like humans. But most importantly, our secret sauce, like you said, is marketing. If you don't have any marketing nowadays, you just don't exist. Gary Vee said a number of years ago, and I really took it to heart, that every company is a marketing company. Every company is a marketing company. So we can no longer afford to be like, I don't do marketing. Because if you don't do marketing, how are we going to find out about you? Are you going to put an ad in the phone book? Are you going to just hope that we walk into your place? We just talked about malls are like ghost towns now. And so you've got to be offensive on the offensive in terms of bringing traffic into your site and to your social media page. So the secret sauce is building a presence on social media. And I've done that through just doing paid advertisements and trying to reach people that I think would connect the most with Talley and Twine.
Wow. The marketing is, you said every company is a marketing company. And I wish I could get that through so many people's heads. Like, where I'm at right now, brother, I've been telling people I'm going inventory less and heavy into marketing. Like, I rather put those dollars in I'm telling people some of these events I've been doing, I ain't doing. I'm putting that money into marketing because I can drive people to my site. They can buy stuff right from my site, man. So I've been really switching my approach, and I'm sure that over the years you've kind of switched your approach as well. You started out one thing, tried it. Okay, we got to modify this, evolve here, make some adjustments here as well. Let me ask you this, man. As a businessman, what would be one of the things you say, man? This is one of the biggest mistakes that you made, that you learned from it, and now it was a blessing in disguise. Maybe it was a business lesson that you really took to heart, and this helped you to actually grow and develop your company.
The biggest thing I've learned to help my business is, luckily we haven't made any catastrophic mistakes, but there's always stuff like that that you learn along the way. So a couple of things. Number one, you got to look at everything like an investment. So let's say you are a small company and you thinking about spending $100 on ads, right? It may not work, or it may work. You don't know. But if you do nothing, you'll know the outcome is going to be the same. So when you risk money on your business, whether it buy ads or anything, keep in mind that you just want to track what your return on that investment is. If you track what that return on investment is, you'll be able to tell whether you lost money or made money. And oftentimes what I see small business owners doing is they do stuff that looks good. I'm going to do a grand opening party and spend $5,000 on this party to tell people about my business. Nobody at the party is buying anything. You spent money. It looks good for social media for a day or two. And now you're in the hole because you haven't sold anything. Like, go learn how to sell your product. Stop doing things just for show and because it looks good and because you see other people doing it. You know what I'm saying? People try to get me to do stuff like celebrity endorsers and throw parties and stuff. And I'm like, well, I don't see the return in it. You know what I mean? I'm not going to pay somebody $10,000 to post about my watch because it's going to be up for 24 hours. And after that, I'm on my own again. Like, it's not, it's not worth it. And so I think people just need to have a more practical approach to how they spend their money. But the biggest thing that helped my business is very beginning. I didn't learn this from the beginning. It took me a number of, whether that's through an independent contractor that you hire to do something for you, like manage your social media, take pictures for you, or it's somebody that you actually bring on as an employee. That should be your mindset from the beginning. We go into it a lot of times as small business owners with the mindset of I'm going to do everything myself because I'm the only one who can do it. And that's really holding you back from growing your business.
Right. So was the mindset that, hey, you know, it takes a team? Is that what you're saying? It cut out just a little bit. Oh, can you hear me?
Okay, you're back. Say it again.
Was the mindset that it takes a team, that, you know, it takes a team? Was that what you said?
Yes, you can't do it by yourself, and to not try to do everything alone.
Absolutely, man. Very, very good poignant tips from me as well. We've got some more comments, man. Big sis me to say, I remember when Gary said that, it stuck with her too and her company. And Felicia said, man, every company is a marketing company. Absolutely. And man, and this is so phenomenal, man. Again, guys, Talley Twine will pop up the website again for you guys to see. You know, these are chronograph watches. This is the Talley Twine watch. It's a Black-owned company. So when you think about going to get your timepieces, think of Talley Twine first. And everybody put in the comments below, if it doesn't make sense, CENTS, it doesn't make sense. That's right. If it doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense. I said this exact same thing, Rand. It's funny that, like, I believe that great minds think alike, and that there's always synergy that the good Lord puts in place for things to happen. This very morning, just yesterday, this very morning, someone said to me, she said, I lost money because I was trying to build my social media page instead of building my bank account.
Mm.
And I see a lot of people that try to connect with these influencers, you know, spending money with them. But then again, I say, well, why? I tell people, why would I pay? I don't pay for promotion. I pay for performance. So if you're willing to get paid for things that sell through your network, affiliate marketing, something like that, then hey, we can do something. But if you just want to promote, get paid, and me be left with quite possibly making a sale, I kind of move away from that, man. Is that something? Is that kind of something that you obviously you have to evaluate every opportunity? You know, but is that kind of something that you kind of seen as well?
Yeah, it's a huge growth hack to use influencers, and we use influencers, but primarily they're ones who came to us, and every now and then we might seek somebody out. But for us, it's more about somebody who represents the brand well. It's not about somebody who has the most followers. It's about who represents the brands well. We care about how many followers you got, but we want you to make sure you're on par with what we're selling. That's going to increase our chances of actually getting that in front of people who are likely to buy. And that's the most important thing. It's not about just throwing money at somebody because they got 100,000 followers. They just might not be a good fit for you, and it's time to move on. But what you mentioned earlier is to my earlier point of doing things just because they look good, vanity metrics. We've never put any money into growing our followers on Instagram or Facebook. We don't invest money in that because that doesn't mean anything. You can have a bunch of people following you that are not buying. We want to invest in spreading the message and connecting with people who are likely to buy. If during that process we gain followers, that's good as well. But that's never been our goal. Our goal, we're a company that's in business to sell watches. So we do things that allow us to sell watches. But believe me, if increasing your followers meant increasing the sales that you made, we do it all day long. But I think that's kind of the cart leading the horse. When you increasing your presence online and your branding and your messaging, then ultimately I think the followers and things of that nature come as a result of that, not the other way around.
Yeah, like those who connect with your brand, they'll find you. You're looking for people who are looking for you. That's what I tell people. You're looking for people who are looking for you. So you just have to do the job of sowing the seed, which is the branding, the content, the message. And then those who are looking for that, they find that. It kind of all comes together. Well, guys, I opened it up for you guys to ask any question that you have for Brother Randy. Again, the founder, CEO of Talley Twine, the watch company, chronograph. I'm still going to learn these words. Chronograph. Is that right? Chronograph watches, something like that. You guys saw. We'll pull up that website again, guys. So you guys see that once more time. Pretty dope watches. Got men's and women's watches for us as well. So we're looking at a women's watch here. I do have men's watches as well. Leather strap, metal strap. They just been, and then they got some new stuff coming out. But yeah, you can do some pre-orders on your Juneteenth canvas, red, black, and green. To represent the culture. Got a chronograph here, silver, gold, and blue metal. And then it looks like for every men's watch, there's a woman's watch that is very similar as well. We get down to the women's section down here, right? Rose gold, fantastic, man. So, Brother Randy, man, before we get up out of here, man, I always like to make sure that our guests, have their last words. That'll be for the audience, whether that be for entrepreneurs or people that may have been interested in getting into the watch game or anything like that, man. Obviously, it seems like you have a big heart for the entrepreneur. You have a big heart for helping people to take a step forward towards their dreams. But any last words that you have for the peeps today here on the Black Virtual Marketplace?
Yeah, like I always say, if you're thinking about starting a business, now is the best time in history to do so. We have access directly to the people who will be interested in your product or service. There's never been millionaires created faster than through the internet. This is our version of the industrial age or the oil boom or, any other time in history where or the gold rush, any other time in history where people made a lot of money rapidly because it's a new industry. And through the power of the internet, it makes it so much easier for you to connect with the people who want your products and or services. That's never been done before in history. So I encourage everybody to just take advantage of that opportunity and take advantage of all the free information that's available on the internet, just like stuff like this interview that we just did, countless others, podcasts, and just use Google University to get all the information that you need and just launch. Because as we talked about earlier, it's more risky to keep doing what you're doing, knowing the outcome is not going to be good, as opposed to risking starting a business with an opportunity to do something big for you and your family and create generational wealth.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely great words from the peaks. And I would say, man, hey, great job. Go get all that information, but then do something with it.
Right.
Knowledge itself it has some measure of power, but applied knowledge, which is then turned into wisdom. So it's not what you know, it's what you do with what you know that really makes the difference. And I see many of you who are walking around, constipated with knowledge. You're constipated with information. You know it all. Well, okay. Well, how's that translating to what you're doing? So don't just stop with getting. get into application, and then you'll begin to see your life go on a trajectory that you never thought before, because you're willing to take a risk with the knowledge and the information that you've acquired. Okay. So that would be my words to you guys today. Again, Brother Randy, man, so I want to say thank you so much for taking the time to be with us here today. It's New Black Wall Street and the Black Virtual Marketplace. I know that you're a busy guy, so you taking the time out to speak to the peeps. We definitely do appreciate that. Again, brother, if you need to send this out anywhere, you can find it on Facebook and YouTube. I share both of those links with you as well. Just let me know if you need anything as far as to be able to chop it up and use it for your own usage as well. I can probably do like a WeTransfer or something like that to you as well. To everyone else, I want to say thanks so much for tuning in to today's episode of the Black Virtual Marketplace, where we've featured Talley Twine, BlackOwned, a watch company, and we're looking to help this company go from local to global. They're already international, but we're going to do our part to make sure that our peeps, our brothers, our sisters, our people in our network, people that are following us on Facebook, know that this is a company that exists and that we can support our very own. We can rock the watch that is made by our own brother. So let's make sure we do a good job of hitting that like button, that share button as well. Hey guys, I want you to remember this. Two things. Number one, once you shop black, you never go back. That's right, man. Once you shop black, you never go back. And then also, man, it takes a village. It starts with us. Let's build as we climb together. We all we got, people. Matter of fact, we all we need. And thank God, that's more than enough. Until next episode, you know what time it is. Mr. DJ, hit the music.
You've been watching the Black Virtual Marketplace live. Your host, Evan Jefferson. Music by your boy Conte. The Black Virtual Marketplace, where we bring global exposure to black business, black talent, black art. Black people stand up, supporting one another. Black Virtual Marketplace.